real estate agents. My name is Tiffany Fortenberry and I'm one of the owners at Prestige Title of Brevard. We're proud to be the sponsor of the Rockstar Real Estate Series for the second year in a row. As a family-owned and operated business, we are dedicated to providing service you can trust through every aspect of your transaction. We thank you for your business over the last 16 years and we look forward to continuing to serve our Brevard County Realtors.
Hey everybody. So we all ready to rock? Lame. Really? Woo! Are we ready to rock? I still suck, but it's better. Anyway, so Mitch Ribak, Rockstar Real Estate Series. Thanks for coming out today. I always go through this, but I like to explain to people why we do this. Pat and I stopped selling houses a couple of years ago, and we've been very blessed to run a very large 2,200 agent organization around North America, actually around the world. And when we decided to stop selling houses, he said, "What do you want to do then?" I go, "Well, either play golf or help people." And I figured helping people is probably more beneficial than playing more golf. My golf game's terrible. So we decided to start doing these. I think this is our 9th or 10th one. I don't know. We do them every other month, so we appreciate you guys coming out. Obviously, all contribution based. Again, thanks to our sponsors. This doesn't happen without these guys, so thank you guys so much for doing this. Because I am nice, but I'm kind of cheap. And anyway, so I'm going to introduce our speaker today. One of my friends, we've been friends for 15 years or so, a long time now. And the beauty of being, a national speaker myself, we get to meet people that are amazing people and we all help each other. And that's the beauty of all what we try to do around the country. But Matt's been a 21-year real estate veteran, and I have to read stuff because I have no memory. He's one of the top 5 realtors in the Atlanta region, past 5 years, right? Or forever? A little longer, forever. And top 1% of all KW agents in the world, and has did over $700 million in sales so far in his career, so he sells about 2 homes a year. And I appreciate Matt coming out here and doing this for us. So Matt, welcome aboard and come on out. Thank you. Give him a good hand.
Testing. Can y'all hear me? That good? Okay, thank you. Again, my name is Matt Hermes. I came down from Atlanta, Georgia, just to spend some time with y'all today. Talk about the term that we use is farming. Everybody familiar with the term? If not, by the end of the day, you will be. Something very important is on the feedback, okay? As you're filling out the feedback, if there's anything negative, please just leave it off. Because my feelings will get hurt. No, I mean, just put whatever your thoughts are, good, bad, or indifferent. But, do provide this. This is important to Pat and Mitch, just to be able to see, things that you like, things that didn't go so well. Hopefully, you get something out of this. And that's really what my goal is for the afternoon, is to provide some type of content that you can pretty much immediately take back that can help you in your business. I'm very passionate about what I do and how I do it. And it's, as Mitch said, I've been in this business. I got licensed in 2002. Prior to that, I was in the material handling business, so I was selling forklifts and items into warehouses. And then 9/11 happened. So 9/11 happened, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. Got my real estate license, and there's kind of a story to that. But a little bit about me. So again, I am with Keller Williams Realty out of Atlanta. I've been with Keller Williams for about 20 years of the 21 years that I've been in business. My personality, if y'all have seen or heard a DISC profile, if y'all familiar with that, kind of says what type of personality you are. I am not a D, I am not a I, as you can tell probably, and I'm an S and a C, okay? I'm a huge introvert. I'm a huge introvert. So me getting up and speaking to you all is really hard, okay? I'll just say that right now. After this, I'm gonna get on a plane, go home, and I'm gonna need a nap. All right, this is draining to me, but I love to do it, and I step out of my comfort zone because it's important for me to share information that I've been able to obtain, I've been able to work with and work on over the years. So if you see me afterwards at the, what is it, the Tiki Bar or whatever? Yeah, well, you'll hear about that in a second. If I look like I'm pretending to be on my phone, or I'm on my phone, it's just pretend, okay? So has anybody ever done that, walk in a room and you just kind of like, because you don't know what to say or who to say it to? That's me, okay? So it's good to see some other introverts in here. So that's kind of who I am. I said it's a challenge, and I kind of work off some of the notes. I'm a father. I am happily married, love to my wife of 25 years. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary. We have 3 kids. We have a 24-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 22-year-old. The reason that they are that quick is we actually had 3 kids in 6 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And that is possible when you adopt. So we adopted our oldest 2 children from the Ukraine back in 2000, the summer of 2000. Then we had a biological child January 5th of 2001. So my hair was a beautiful red, and now, as you can see, it is white. But it's funny, I always like to, so having 3 kids in 6 months is really challenging, right? Having any kids in 6 months is really challenging. But we are very fortunate. We've got great kids, a wonderful supporting wife who's really been through a lot with me. And we'll get into that in just a second. Prior to working in real estate, as I said, I was in material handling business. Prior to that, I was in the golf business. I played and taught golf professionally for a handful of years. And after 9/11 happened, my wife and I moved down from from Charlotte to Atlanta to get close to my wife's family. So that kind of started my real estate career after 9/11. 9/11 was a kind of a profound and starting point for us and our family getting into real estate. The reason I got into real estate was when we moved from Charlotte to Atlanta, the real estate agents that we had, they sucked. They were, the first person, we had a $121,000 house. I said we wanted to list it for $170,000. All right, me not being in real estate, but said this is what I want to list it for, and the agent said, okay, let's do that. Okay, we sat on the market. We sat on the market for 90 days. I think we had 2 showings the first couple of days, nothing after that, and literally we had 0 phone calls from our agent. The next agent that we hired, again, I'm not in real estate, next agent comes in, says, we need to really reduce this price, and we listed it like $125. Was on the market for about 30 days, finally went under contract, and we closed. 0 communication with the real estate agent until they showed up at closing. They showed up at closing, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Welcome. Thank you for coming. They showed up for closing, and I'm like, man, that's the easiest $4,500 that person's ever made. And when we moved down to Atlanta and we had 9/11 happen and I decided to get into real estate, one of the reasons was I was never going to treat the clients the way that my wife and I were treated. And that really was a big thing for us. That I've always, I tell people, 3 things when I'm sitting down with them and meeting with them. Number 1, I'm competent in what I do, and I think that's very important to let people know that what your competency level is. Number 2, we're going to treat you as much as we can like family. Even though they're not, we want to treat them as such. And then number 3, I'm going to tell them the truth. Might not be what they want to hear, but it's what they need to hear, okay? If I look back at the time that we were selling our house, we weren't treated any of those 3 things. So that's kind of where I came from a real estate perspective. So I got licensed in 2002. I had a great run up to about 2006. 2005, I made $250,000 as GCI. 2006, my wife and I bought kind of our dream home, and then that afternoon we walked out of closing, and about an hour later the market just collapsed, it felt like. So we bought a really big house that we could not afford with the lending standards back in 2006 were not what they are today, and eventually we ended up having some problems with that. So a little bit of background, and then we're going to jump right in to the farming stuff. But I want to give you kind of who I am, because where I'm coming from and about to come from is important, I think. And I'm speaking, so I get to say it. So back in 2009, I had, is everybody familiar with the term exit strategy? Exit strategy, you're in business, you're getting ready to, you want to retire, or you want to change things, and you sell your company, so on and so forth. I had a much different exit strategy. In Atlanta, just north of Atlanta, there's a lake called Lake Hartwell. And the main interstate that runs through from Georgia to South Carolina is called Interstate 85. My plan was I was going to drive up Interstate 85, and there's two sections that cross the lake. There's a section with a guardrail about as, waist, well, for some people waist high, shoulder high. And then you go another 100 yards, and then there's a gap in between the end of one of the barriers and then the beginning of the other one. And my goal, my exit strategy, is I was going to drive my 2002 Honda Odyssey minivan through the opening into the lake, drown, and allow my wife to continue on and build her life back. So my exit strategy was to kill myself. We were broke. We had no money. We were going bankrupt. We were about to lose our house. We had already lost two of our cars. We'd already lost two of our cars. The year before that, our youngest daughter, who was 8 at the time, she lost her eyesight. She hopped off a school bus one day, and I was at a house, and I saw her get off the school bus, and instead of running to me, she ran to the right. And her sister was with her and grabbed her and pulled her over, and she said, "Daddy, I can't see." Shit, sorry. So at the age of 8, we now had a blind daughter. A year before that, our son, who was, like I said, we adopted from the Ukraine, he was having really bad medical issues, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. Finally went to a doctor. They had done a bunch of blood work, and come to find out he has a very, very rare genetic bleeding disorder. And this bleeding disorder, there's no cure for it, but there's a medicine that he can take to help cleanse his bloodstream, and that's where his problem was. His blood wasn't cleaning, and he had a really distended stomach, and it would have killed him eventually. Which is great news, right? There's medicine for that. The problem is he has to have it in intravenous fluid every 2 weeks. And when those packages hit the door for those to have a nurse come to our house to do that, it was a $25,000 pack of medicine sitting on our front door, $50,000 a month, that our insurance decided they didn't want to cover. So I made mention that 2006, the market started crashing right after we bought this house. 2007, my son we find out that my son's got this disease, and you take care of your kids, right? But what do you do with a $600,000 bill every year? And then in 2008, my daughter loses her eyesight, and we went from making $250,000 down to $40,000, living the lifestyle of a $250,000 earner. That Christmas, I was up at 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., 5 days a week, working at Costco just to try to pay bills, try to put presents under the tree. So to say life was going well would be an understatement, right? November 13th, 2009 was when things really started to turn for me. That's when I finally admitted I was an alcoholic. My wife was about to leave me. She said, look, Matt, if you don't stop, I've already talked to my wife, my mom, and she said that we can come stay with her, but you're not welcome there. And my wife had told me 20, 30, 40 times to stop drinking, but that was the time that it stuck, right? So I stopped. I didn't go to rehab. I didn't do anything. I just stopped drinking. And they say that, I always like to say that I would not trade my past with anyone, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, because it's exactly who I am, and I got sober the exact time, and my wife said the words that I needed to hear, and things have been so much better in the last almost 14 years. I've got a wife who's still married to me, thank God that she is, and she's here today. She came down with us, and we got to have dinner with Mitch and Pat and their spouses last night. I run a multi-million-dollar business. I've got my oldest son is doing great. He's in a healthcare plan with his work that he is covered fully with that. My daughter that lost her eyesight, she doesn't want her sight back. She doesn't. The reason is she's been able to travel the world for the last 11 years. She's gone to more places than I ever will. She's a Paralympic swimmer, so she swims for Team USA on the Paralympic team. She swam in Rio de Janeiro as the youngest Team USA athlete is either non-disabled or disabled. She swam in Tokyo for Team USA, and now she's switched to triathlon, so she's doing para-triathlons. She lives out at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado, and she gets to speak all over the world about her experiences. And just a week and a half ago, I said, do you want your eyesight back? Nope, I'm good. Can you believe that? How cool is that? So, the only issue that we have is our middle daughter, who's a redhead. And so if you have a redhead, you know what challenges we face with that. So anyway, I think it's important for me to tell you who I am and where I'm coming from, because we lost everything. Everything. I built a business up, I had burned it to the ground, and then we started to build it back. So now that comes into where we are and what we're doing. As we go through this presentation and I start talking, please, by all means, is it all right we just answer questions as they come? Okay. So if you have any questions, please just raise your hand. We'll knock them out. If I'm going to cover it, I will say, hey, great question, but we'll get into that. Okay. Is that fair? All right. Any questions so far? So if you see me at the bar, don't buy me a drink. No, I'm just kidding. I will say no. So again, I always like to say this before about a year ago, I was doing this presentation. I was down in, I was down in Augusta, Georgia, and I was about 30 minutes into the presentation, and my host slid me a piece of paper, and it said zipper on it. So I looked down, and my zipper was wide open. So as I was standing in the back,
Go that way, remember?
Yeah.
This doesn't work with that, remember?
It's not working?
Yeah, because that slide is in the PowerPoint.
Okay. So I always make sure, and it's one of the things my wife checks me every day when I leave the house to make sure that my pants are zipped. So if I do this, it's like, now it's something that I always do. All right. So what is a farm? A farm is a geographic area that you solicit the majority, if not all, of the neighborhood for business, establish and brand yourself as a community expert, develop meaning relationships, providing value and expecting nothing in return. The last line there is providing value and asking for nothing in return is the biggest thing for me, and it's been our biggest success. It is all of the things that we do, all of the events that we do, all of the community service projects that we do. It's not about asking for business. It's about building a brand, branding and name recognition. So when someone is considering selling, thinking about selling, they really don't have an option other than to reach out to us. Okay? So I don't want to get into statistics because statistics are can be a little wonky, but here it's how to pick your farm. The best farm is one that you currently reside in. You don't necessarily have to, but you have to know your numbers. How many homes are in the subdivision? What the turnover rate is? Is it 10% turnover rate? Is it 8% turnover rate? I like to say choose a farm with an area with at least 500 homes, and then choose an area that's in a price point above what your current average sales price is. If you're a newer agent and you don't have an average sales price, then just pick one and go for it. The one that we developed was one that I actually lived in for 18 years. Okay, so, and what's interesting is when I started first working in this neighborhood, I didn't know what a farm was. It was just where I lived, worked, and played. And then a few years later, I'm like, oh, well, crap, that's actually what I'm doing, and we're doing it pretty well. So, there's a lot of different things that you can do as you start building your business. So we talk about marketing, what you need to know, information about the schools, favorite local restaurants, shops, and services and business, local happenings, activities, the charities, ways to support the community, and volunteer opportunities. For me, it's consistency is the key, and any marketing you do takes at least a year to effectively brand yourself. Is anybody working a farm now or doing anything in a specific community? You are? Anybody else? Okay, so a handful of us. It's a great opportunity to build a branding, but you have to understand that it takes time. Anything that you're doing takes, for me, a minimum of a year. Postcards, community events, client events, anything like that, it's going to take a year before you start seeing results. If you just shotgun a postcard out every now and then, or you've got a listing somewhere, it doesn't do it. It has to be super consistent, and it does take some time. So a little tidbit on the away from the farming. Does anybody have a good first question that you ask on a listing appointment? What's the first question that you should be asking on a listing appointment? Why are you selling? Great question. Anything else? What's that?
She said, when do you need to sell?
When do you need to sell? That's a good one. If you're sitting in a listing appointment, and here's my only sales tidbit, I would say, that it's always worked well for me, and somebody taught me this years and years ago. If I ask this question, it directly correlates and defines the path of the direction that the listing appointment goes. So Mitch, other than price, is there anything else we need to talk about today?
Yeah, take my wife to the house.
I have to take my wife with the house. Can't do that. Other than taking your wife with the house, is there anything else we need to talk about today? Okay, so what's my listing presentation? Anything else? Who else wants to mention something? Other than price, what else do we need to talk about today?
Sometimes the seller would prefer to talk about a commission.
Okay.
And might discuss something like that.
Okay, so commission, and then we'll talk about commission and price. Is there anything else that I can answer for you today?
Our marketing strategy, how you marketing my property.
Great question.
Your strategy.
So we'll talk about marketing, our commission, and then price. Is there anything else that's important to you? There's your listing presentation. Marketing, price, marketing, commission, and price. How many people go in and throw up all over themselves showing color brochures and all of this other things and so on and so forth? We answer those 3 questions, that's all that you care about. So other than prices or anything else that we need to be talking about today, to me, is the most important question in a listing presentation. Because everything else, we all have these binders that you can bring in and about how cool you are and all the good stuff that you do. But if I'm not talking about the commission, the marketing, and the price, if I get talking about something else and she doesn't care about that, I'm going to lose her. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Anybody else want to throw something in?
When you need to sell.
When do you need to sell? So price and when we need to sell by. Is there anything else that I can answer for you? Why? Why are you selling? So why you're selling, what was your question?
When do you need to sell?
Why you're selling, when you need to sell, and price. Is there anything else we need to talk about? So all I'm saying is, listen, as you get into a listing presentation, don't do too much because we can talk too much. We like to talk too much, and you can blow it. So don't blow it.
I ask them questions.
You ask them questions? Great.
I make them talk. What
Okay.
are your plans? How are you planning on moving? You have a support system for that. I make them tell me everything that they need. So then when I leave, they feel like I have the tools that I need.
Okay.
I don't know, they like to talk more
All right.
than listen.
But if you were to turn that around and say, what are the things that are important for you to talk about? What questions can I answer? They might go through all those.
Yeah.
So, okay. So anyway, that was on my list, so I wanted to make sure that you're doing that. And then another thing that I would suggest is, and sometimes I cuss, don't do shit you hate. Okay? I couldn't tell you the last time I called a FSBO or an expired. They hurt my feelings when they hang up on me. They do. I mean, if somebody told me, Matt, you have to get in the business and you have to call FSBOs and expireds, I would quit. That was one of my problems when I first got into real estate back in 2002, was what do you do to build business? I'm not that person, so I had to find what was important to me and what I was good at to be able to make and build a business. I chose giving back to people. I chose building a farm, and in the initial onset, I didn't know what I was doing. I was building a farm and building marketing, but I didn't know what I was doing. So, and I mean this sincerely, don't do stuff that you don't like because you will be out of the business. I mean, does anybody like calling FSBOs and expireds? No. Okay, very, very few do. Find something that you enjoy and then do it that way. Okay, so all marketing pieces must look alike. Consistency is the key, and we're going to get into a lot of the things here shortly. Any questions so far?
I do want, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I would like to know how you marketing, how you farming when you doing your business.
Yes, so how am I farming, how we're doing the business, we're going to get into that right now. Okay, so one of the things that we do is own the domain to your farm. So it was interesting the other night, actually yesterday afternoon when I got down here, I texted Mitch and I said, hey Mitch, where are most of the agents coming from? And you mentioned a couple of different counties and towns and stuff like that. So I pulled up some neighborhoods around. Is anybody familiar with Armand Groves? It's a brand new subdivision being built somewhere. Is anybody familiar with that? No. Palm Bay? Okay. So you've heard of it? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Are you considering south?
I can.
Okay.
Yes. So it's in Palm Bay, right? So if I know that it's in Palm Bay and it's a brand new subdivision, find the builder's website and then go to GoDaddy.com. All right? And see if ArmandGroves.com is available. It is. Buy the frickin' domain. armandgroves.com. Then what do? You have your own website, right? You point that to the homes that are being built and sold in Armand Groves. Then you go to Facebook and then you create a page, Armand Groves Subdivision or Armand Groves, and you build the Facebook page. Is anybody doing that? You do? Great. Who thinks that that could be something that would be benefit to them? Okay, so I want to know who's going to buy armandgroves.com by the time we get. Okay. How about, armandgroves.com is available. How about Palm Bay? There's a community called Palm Bay. It's a city? Okay. Well, there's a website, palmbaycommunity.com, that is available.
Go quick.
And then everybody's probably heard of Del Webb at Vieira. Okay. You can't get Del Webb. You can't put Del Webb in there because I did it and then I almost got sued. I got a cease and desist. But you can get Vieira Community, do anything around Vieira, V-I-E-R-A, and buy that domain and then go and build a Facebook page around it. And then you're adding content. Don't make it a public page yet. Add a bunch of content. And then you start building that out, and then you start letting people know, you start doing videos, you start doing whatever it is to build that community. It takes time, but after a year or so, you will be the authority and you will be who people are reaching out to. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Questions on that so far? So here's one. So Hamilton Mill, that's my farm, all right? Hamilton Mill was started in 1995. It's 2,198 homes right now. Prices anywhere from $450,000 up to $1.3 million. When the developer pulled out of the subdivision, I bought the domain from him, hamiltonmill.com. All right, so I bought that domain. Then what I did is I created a Facebook page around that. So Hamilton Mill Subdivision is the Facebook page that I got. Okay? Very simple things to do. Now we've got, 1,700 followers just to that one page. Yes, ma'am?
So, what are you doing with the domain, the website? You're directing it to Facebook?
No. So that's a great question. So what am I doing with the domain? So I've grabbed hamiltonmill.com, right? And then anytime I'm creating a page on my website, so anytime someone types in hamiltonmill.com, it's going to my main website with all the homes that are for sale in Hamilton Mill. Or if you will, for Armand Groves, you're pointing all of those new construction homes that somebody types in Armand Groves subdivision, they're going to find your website. You click on it, it's going to be, SueSmith.com, if that's. Yes, absolutely. Facebook is just a separate entity. Yeah, so I've got the domain that I'm pointing, and then I'm creating a Facebook community as well. Make sense? Okay.
Do you mind tell how much you bought the domain?
I bought that domain for $5,000. It's probably worth $25,000 right now. Armand Groves is $299. Who got it? Anybody? Okay, so and then you just start building the page. You start adding content to it. I would suggest that you don't make it a public page for 60 days or so. You just keep dumping content to it, blog posts, videos, whatever. Invite all of your friends so you get 25, 30 people as fans or likes to it, and then you make it public. Okay? So what we do is we consistently provide up-to-date information on all our social media platforms around these subdivisions, around anything that you're doing within a farm, if you will. And I like to use the 80-20 rule. 80% is just content about everything that's going on. Spring festival, fall festival, Mill Creek, the high school, football team, so on and so forth. then 20% is real estate related. I don't like throwing up on people, okay? By throwing up, it's turning that around and making it 80% about real estate. I just don't think you need it. And then we also engage on a daily basis on each platform. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, and YouTube, everything is focused on those different sites on the community. Okay? Say that again?
I feel like I just walked into the candy store.
Why is that?
That's good. How many do you have set up? How many communities do you work at a time? I mean,
We probably have 6 or 7 right now. Yeah,
that's so good. Sorry.
that's all right. So yeah, we have 5, 6, 7 different communities of Facebook pages that we built out. The one that's the kind of the coolest one was we've got the Hills, what's a subdivision called the Hills at Hamilton Mill, and we got the domain name, we created the Facebook page, and the builder was so pissed off at me that they called me and said, "You're making our homes look terrible because of the photos that you have." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. We want that page." I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that." And I got a call back a week later, and they said, "Well, if we go out and we take pictures of all the houses and we send them to you, will you put them on the Facebook page?" Absolutely. So that's what we did, and they continue to this day to send us photos. So, all right, working around questions on that.
So, I'm sorry. I have a question.
No, you're good.
When you bought the domain, do you have the right listing the property for the
Say that again.
When you bought the domain, right?
Uh-huh.
So you only work for the buyer, or you have the right to listing the property for the developer too?
Well, so the question is, if you buy the domain, can you just work with buyers or also work with the builders? The builders typically are going to have their own agents. We're just grabbing the domain name so we get that in perpetuity so we can use it however we want. Yeah. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. So as we get into let me get here. And I'm sorry, y'all, the way that my marketing person did this presentation is not friendly to the computer. Another thing that we're doing is becoming an expert, or trying to become an expert on YouTube and always having content for people. YouTube is great. You can put it on YouTube, which then you can feed it directly to Facebook. Having YouTube pages is wonderful, but we're trying to make sure that we're out there and people are able to see what we're doing in and around the community. Okay, so this is just an example of one of the other farms that we have is in Gainesville, Georgia, which is on what's called Lake Lanier. So we basically have 2 main farms. We have the one Hamilton Mill that I showed you, and then the other one is Lake Lanier. A lake community, 692 miles of shoreline. And this section right here is where they had the 1996 rowing events. So it's a big venue. They do lots of food truck Fridays. So this is one of the events that we did, that we just sponsored the food truck Friday, and there's a YouTube video that goes along with it. Don't worry about if you suck on video. I'm not great on it, but people do like to look at it, and I think it's a great opportunity for you to, again, just start building your brand. Okay? All right, community involvement and sponsorship. So is anybody doing any type of community service? Okay. So what we make sure that we do is that we're always out in the community that we serve, trying to give back as much as we can. In that, we do a lot of sponsorships, within the community. The spring flings, the fall events, the swim team, we sponsor the swim teams. So we're always trying to be present. So anytime that something is going on within the community, people see our name. And I'm not sure if these are going to show up later or not, but do you see this caution sign right here? Everybody seen those caution slow down signs? So what we did about 15 years ago is I created those signs, caution children at play, and then the middle section is our logo. And then what we did is we went out to the community and we said, hey, would you like a free caution slow down sign? And we just handed those out to everybody in the community that wanted them. So our name is all over these streets of these caution slow down. They cost like $7, $8 to do. Okay, so that's that was a fun thing, and that pissed a lot of agents off in the community. And then I got another idea. I'm like, well, do y'all have, are they called yard sales here or garage sales? Garage sales. When I grew up north, and they used to be tag sales. So, yeah. So now we have garage sales. So now we have garage sale signs. So someone can come to our office. They can grab a half dozen garage sale signs that point, instead of going to Home Depot and buying them, you can just point to your yard sale. But what does that have in it? It has our logo. Again, what I like to do is someone says, and a lot of times when people have yard sales or garage sales, what are they planning on doing within the next 6 months or a year? Moving, right? So when someone calls and they say, hey, I'd like to get a half dozen yard sales, garage sales, fantastic, I'd be happy to drop them off. What's your address? What's your name? In case we get disconnected, can I get your phone number? So I get their name, I get their address, and then I get their phone number, and then you hand deliver these half dozen signs, right? And we say, when you're done, just call me and we'll come back and we'll pick them up from you. Okay, so garage sale signs and those slow down, caution children at play were great. Yes, sir?
What about estate sales? That'd be definitely that they're going to be selling.
Yeah, it would. The challenge, I guess, with that, and that's a great thought. My initial thing was you don't see them that often. Well, here you do. I guess you're in Florida, so people are dying a lot more. Maybe, I don't know. We don't see them that often, but man, what a great thing. Just how you would market to that is wonderful. Estate sale with your name and your company logo on it. Perfect. Anybody else? Any ideas off of that?
So do you have a specific budget for each event?
A specific budget for each event? No, not really. Sometimes they're $75, sometimes they're $500. When I was flat broke, back in 2010, when I reset my career, I got sober in November. January, I basically restarted. I didn't have any money. So a lot of the events that we did, I did for free. I would volunteer. If I would go to a community or I would go to something, hey, if I volunteer here, would you allow me to be a sponsor as well? And it was just kind of a barter. I'd give 2 hours early, help them set up for the opportunity to have a booth or a space or something like that. And people will work with you. They really will. So a lot of this stuff doesn't cost a lot of money. There is some stuff that does cost money. There's a lot of it that doesn't cost a lot of money. And that's how I really got started. Again, was in the very beginning, I didn't have money to do anything. So it was, what could I do for free? What could I do for free? And in turn, giving back to the community. And again, we're going to get into a lot more of that here shortly. So we do, spring festival, falls festivals, the food truck Friday. We do the spring fling. So this one that we just did, this spring fling on the right, that was this spring, and I think we paid $250 for the rights to have our tent there. Last week we got a phone call from someone that was introduced to us at that spring fling. We're putting their house on the market this week for $825,000. So a $24,000 check for a $250 investment. Not bad, right? Doesn't always work that way, but it's opportunity just to get in front of people, and they called us because they got introduced to us at that event. It's unfortunate kind of that they found us at that event because we've been sending them postcards, we've been sending them mailers for years, but that was the one that they remembered us, okay? So, great ways to do it. So we sponsor different concerts. And then these are the things that I've got so much content, but I want to get through these. So anybody doing anything giving back to the community right now? Yes? What are some examples of things you do to give back to the community? Awesome. A what? What is that?
Every Friday, children get a pack of food, but at school, but they bring home for the weekend.
That's awesome.
Coco has this big building now. You can volunteer to pack them packages or do other work for them.
That's great. Wonderful. Always do that, and hopefully if you're with EXP or Caldwell Banker or Remax or whatever, or Keller Williams, you're always wearing your EXP shirt or whatever there, so people know that what you're doing. So those are great things. Yes, ma'am.
Neighborhood cleanup.
Neighborhood cleanup's another really good one. Okay, so what we do is we collect food for what's called the North Gwinnett Co-op. That was during the month of May. Again, we're collecting them and then we drop them off. We collect school supplies for the teachers in the during the summer. And then we hand deliver those in the little blue. We have tons of recycled grocery bags. So we deliver those to the school, to the teachers in those recycled grocery bags. Recycled grocery bags are awesome. If you don't have them and they're cheap, get them. Was that me or was that?
No, that was me.
Okay. Okay, so some of the other things that I'm about to get into, this is fun and then it's embarrassing. Giving back to the community has been very big to me personally because of the help that my family got when we didn't have much. Okay, a couple years ago I ran into a lady that was starting to collect prom dresses, and they would collect prom dresses and then they would basically have a mall for underprivileged young ladies to come and be able to pick a prom dress and shoes and so on and so forth. So we said, hey, let's reach out to our community and start collecting prom dresses, right? So we put it all over Facebook, all of our social media, did a lot of videos about collecting prom dresses for this place called Enchanted Closets. So people would bring us their prom dresses, right? So we wanted them to come to us. If they couldn't, then we would go pick it up, but they would come and they would deliver the prom dresses to us, okay? We got to meet a lot of people and they got to thank us for, helping, so on and so forth. So then I got stupid and I said, well, let's put on video if we collect 100 prom dresses that I'll deliver one of the 100 prom dresses in our moving truck in a dress. So the day that we were delivering, we had 88 prom dresses. I'm like, whew, this is awesome, but it's also awesome that I don't have to wear a prom dress. Literally, the truck was loaded. I was pulling out of the parking lot, and a lady called, and she said, I have about 15 prom dresses that I want to be able to drop off. So I had a decision to make, right? I said, well, listen, I'll go collect the prom dresses. I'm in the truck now. I will come to your house, and I'll pick them up. I go and I pick them up, and that put us at like 112 or something. So my decision was be a honest, moral person and say, hey, team, we got these dresses, or just collect the dresses, take them down there, and not tell anybody that we met our goal, right? So I did what any upstanding individual would do is I told my team that, yes, I just collected all these prom dresses. So that is me in a very beautiful purple chiffon, I think it's chiffon dress. And that is our office dog. That's Biscuit, very scared that his owner is wearing a prom dress. So if anyone was curious, that's what I look like in a purple prom dress. But we put that all over social media. And what does that do for us? Other than embarrass me, the introvert, it's like, oh my gosh, how cool, so on and so forth. So every year since then, we have been collecting these prom dresses for this enchanted closet. The question is, how much does it cost us to collect prom dresses? 0. What does it get us? Lots of marketing, respect, good feelings within community, we're giving back, so on and so forth. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard to do. If you're like, well, I'm just an individual agent, I don't know if I can do this, well, grab 2, 3 other agents from your area or the town that you're in, get together and say, hey, we're doing this as as a group, but market to your sphere of influence. And then when you get 50, 60, 70 dresses or whatever it is, you can say, hey, this is what we've donated. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Another thing that we do is, again, giving back to the community that has given us so much, is that we provide Thanksgiving meals to those in need. Okay? The reason this came about was back when we were broke and we didn't have any money, our church provided us with a Thanksgiving meal. And we would not have had a turkey and we would not have had a meal if we were not provided with that. So a handful of years later, I said, hey, let's start doing that. So what we do is we go and we send out, and again, I can send this to everybody, but this is basically a postcard that we send out. It says, Thanksgiving meals for 100 families. You can donate by either shopping for all the goods, or just send us $50 and we'll do the shopping for you. So what I love about it is adults with younger kids, families with younger kids, they love to go shopping, right? And get the kids to pick out the yams and the marshmallows and whatever, and then see them deliver it to our office. People that don't have time but they want to feel like they're giving back, they just send us money, and then we as a team go and we shop for all these, for all the families. And I think this year we got to 170 meals or something like that. But it was awesome. Yes, ma'am?
How do you find the families that are in need?
You just ask. Go to your churches. Go to... schools are a little tough. Schools, we do go to the schools. We go to the schools and say, hey, we know you can't tell us who they are, but do you have families? And then what we do is they will come to us, and we probably had 40 families from schools. They say, yes, we have 40 families, and then we provide the schools with a coupon. Please provide these to the families, and then they come to us and they pick up. So they just hand in the coupon and we give them the bag of food. What we found is you don't want to deliver food. I'll just tell you don't deliver the food. Just have them come to you. But churches, schools, you can go to hospitals, you can go to retirement, communities. There's any number of places will do this. Okay? So again, how much did that cost us? We as a team, we always do a minimum of 5 meals, right? But everybody else, they get to do the shopping, they bring these items to us, they feel good about it, and then we do a lot of videos, and then we show all the fun that we have providing these the meals to everybody. Really costs us nothing, but look the goodwill that we get. Okay? Is anybody doing anything similar to that? Yay!
I have an organization called Local Kid Local. We feed between 7 and 1,200 families every year for Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
So if anybody wants to help, we are willing to laugh in the air. Yeah.
That's cool.
You've been doing it 10 or 12? Yeah.
So how, if you don't mind me asking, so you've got this group you're feeding, let's say it's 1,000 families. Are they, do you have individuals just bringing you the food to you, or are you doing the shopping?
I'm also a bartender, so we do a big fundraiser at the bar I work with every year. And last year, we used to do like bagged meals and have locals deliver it and
Right.
stuff. But ever since COVID has gotten really weird, so now we just give all the families gift cards.
Yeah.
So they can do their own shopping or get it delivered or
Yeah, so we do a mix. We've got the non-perishables that we will give, and then for the turkey, we give a gift card, a $25 gift card that they can buy a turkey or a ham or something.
Like $50 to $75 per family.
Yeah.
But,
Ours is 50 a family. Yes, ma'am.
A couple of years ago, we did a hurricane drive at my other brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of my idea, because I had a lady reach out to me, and she gets a trailer, and she was taking it down to one of the states that had the amenities. So it was easy and free. All we did is advertise, drop off the supplies at our office, and she came back, picked them all up, and people were coming to the office and dropping off supplies for the hurricane drive.
Yeah, and we've done that. I've traveled personally. I've come to Orlando, New Orleans, and somewhere else after hurricanes. Again, hey, we're collecting for this natural disaster. I know it's awful, but again, it's proactive giving, right? You know, donate to us, and then we do this for you. And people like that. They like to feel like they're doing something, but they don't have to be as involved as you would be. Okay. Anything else on that? All right. Any questions? Any term I would use is ahas, anything that you want to share? Yes, sir.
I just have a question, like, when you were saying set up those domain names and stuff, have you bought names that, like, win and some that don't win? You know, like, what are your experiences with that?
Some are going to be great, some are crap. I mean, you know, but any subdivision name that I buy, so what I like to do is, we have a lot of building around our area. You know, on the way down here, I didn't see much of that. You know, Cocoa Beach, I've never been here, right? But anytime I see a new subdivision sign or a new subdivision going in, I'm always going online and seeing if that subdivision name has been bought yet, and I'm buying it. I probably have 80, 100 different subdivision names, and I'm just pointing those names to a page on my website, so redirecting them there. So, are they working? The one that I know works is the hamiltonmill.com. That one's been around since 1995. So we get a good amount of traffic from that. Yes?
So you buy the domain and then you forward it to your personal site.
Yes.
So, but it's not really, so it's not geared necessarily for that community.
It is, because I can create on my website, I can have it go directly to a page of that subdivision from our MLS.
You can do landing pages.
Yeah, it's basically kind of a landing page type thing.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Does it lead capture? Or you just?
Yeah, we've got lead capture on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, anything else?
I was thinking, the community events that you mentioned, for example, food delivery or food job or something, is that get a chance to touch for low-end clients?
Yes. Yeah, we'll give it to, we give the meals to anyone. Anyone that needs a meal.
Is that somebody need a meal job, but maybe they are not able to afford that house?
Doesn't matter. I just want to give them a meal.
That's the point.
Yeah, the point is not to get clients, it's to earn trust in the community, which eventually gets phone calls to us. People say, we love what you're doing in the community, we want to help you now that you've helped us.
How the community gonna know that?
I'm sorry?
How other people in the community gonna know that?
They just know word of mouth, our Facebook pages, our videos that we do, all of that. Okay, so a couple quick notes. Just some things I always like to make sure that after 20 years, it's okay to say no to a listing or a buyer. It is definitely okay. People are on their best behavior the first time you meet them. After that, it's downhill from there. Right? If they're a pain in the ass the first time you meet them, they're not going to get better. So, unless you want just to handle clients that are obnoxious and rude and whatever, be okay saying no. Let your competition have them, right? Or refer them to somebody you don't like in the business and let them deal with them. Okay? So be okay saying no. People are at their best behavior the first time you meet them. And think about that. It's true, right? Now, people are always doing the very best that they can at the moment that they're in. I'll give them that. But for the most part. All right. Most people underestimate what they can do in the short term and, most people overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do long term. For me and my business, on my team, I like to ensure that my shoes are as dirty as everybody else's. In other words, if I'm going to ask somebody to do it, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing it as well, unless it's cold calling, FSBOs are expired. And for me, with agents on my team, I don't like for them to bring me problems without solutions. If they have a problem, I want to hear what the problem is and what their solution is to it. And I think that's important. And then I'll say another. All right. So, let me see. We've got a bunch more stuff to go through, and I'm told I got about 35 minutes. So if I can make this thing work. So another thing that we do is Shoes for the Souls. My 8-year-old daughter, when she lost her eyesight, we had no money, but she and I started a organization called Shoes for the Souls, where we collected slightly used shoes, and we donated them to a homeless shelter. We collected 24,000 pairs of shoes over the lifetime of the organization that we created. We're on the news, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times. Not because of me, but because of the cute little blind girl that was giving back to the community. So don't go looking for blind people, but figure out something you can do to give back, right? So this was just something that we started and it blew up. But what can you do to give back? Another thing that we do is, and I love these, is the small charity of the month. Find a local area, whatever you're in, put on your Facebook, your personal or your business Facebook page. Say, hey, we're looking for your favorite charity. Provide them your name, why you love them so much, and have them put it on your Facebook page. And then you pick the charity of the month. Then you go and you deliver a cute little charity of the month certificate along with a $50 donation in your team's name or your name to that charity. You videotape you giving it to the person, a little minute video of what that organization does, and then you put it all over Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, YouTube, whatever it is. So for $50, number one, you're getting a lot of engagement on your social media pages. Okay, give us your favorite, charity. Another one we do is small business of the month. What's your favorite local small business? Get all of those recommendations. You pick one. It's not the, you pick it, and then you literally go and you deliver them a certificate. We have more certificates of small business of the month all around our town. People love to display them. They get a certificate, and what do? They put it on their front door, or they put it on their cash register. And every month, you just pick a small business of the month. This is my most favorite, Teacher of the Month. So Teacher of the Month. Again, hey gang, this is Matt, Hermes, Keller Williams Realty. Just wanted to let you know that it's time to pick the Teacher of the Month. Please nominate on our Facebook page your favorite teacher. Tell us why they're your favorite teacher, and we will pick Teacher of the Month. You pick the Teacher of the Month, you'll get 50, 75, 100 different people that will say that. You nominate people, you pick one, they don't pick it, you pick it. Then you call the school and you say, Mr. and Mrs. Principal, this is Matt Hermes with Keller Williams Realty. I just wanted to let you know that Sue Smith, your second grade whatever teacher, has been chosen as our Teacher of the Month. And we'd like to stop by and give her a certificate along with a gift card. Would you mind if we do that at your school? And do you mind taking a picture with me, Mrs. Smith, and you as we present this award? Oh my gosh, absolutely, that's great. Come on in, when can you come in? Can you do me a favor? Don't tell Mrs. Smith that she's getting this award. Mrs. Smith comes in the office, we present her with it, she cries, we give her a $50 gift card to Target. We know that she's not going to spend it on herself, she's going to turn around and spend it on the kids in the classroom. but then we get to put it all over our social media that Mrs. Smith is the June Teacher of the Month. $50, all of the good that you can get out of that is amazing. Anybody doing any of those? No? Yes? Maybe? Awesome. What are you doing?
Small business of the month, and that also
Cool.
includes the business, my monthly newsletter to my mailing list.
Awesome. Good for you. Could you incorporate a teacher?
Yeah, definitely gonna.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So on videos that we do a business of the month,
Uh-huh.
but it's a video, not like.
Do you do it at the business?
Yeah.
So you'll go and do a video. This is Tom Jones with Jones Auto Supply. Yeah, that's great. It really doesn't take that much effort to do. And if you're giving away a certificate, it's nothing. For us, the only, we'll donate $50 to a small, a charity. That's a write-off, right? And who doesn't want to give a teacher $25? And teachers don't care. It can be $5. I mean, teachers, most of the money that they have goes to their kids anyway. So that's why we chose a Target. So they're going to go buy school supplies. So that's really cool. That's been really, really good for us. So the small business, the charity, and then the Teacher of the Month. You can get into all kinds of different things with that as well. All right, client appreciation events. Anybody doing client appreciation events? Yay. What are you doing? What's your favorite one?
I just started planning it. My first one, I'm really super excited.
Awesome. What are you going to do?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay. I'm giving all my secrets away and you won't tell me. No, it's okay. It's all right. So this is, we do a minimum of one client appreciation community event a month. Okay? A month. Yep. This is my favorite one. It's a client appreciation event. Well, that's the baseball game, but here, let me just go through these. So January, everybody familiar with TSA PreCheck? Yes. Right? So TSA, did anybody know that they have a mobile RV, literally an RV that they drive around the country? Someone's gonna love me after this. So you can get the TSA to bring their TSA mobile RV and park it in your parking lot. And then they do the TSA PreCheck. You know how you get up to go do the TSA PreCheck? They do it in that RV, but we get 500 people a week into my parking lot. And then we sit outside the RV and we give away luggage and we give away all of our swag. Costs us nothing. Zero. What's cool though is because they're going into the TSA mobile RV and they typically haven't done it before, is we sit outside the RV with our little tent and we have a piece of paper for them to sign and make sure that they register, right? When you're going into a government entity, are you typically going to put your real name, your real address, your real phone number, and your real email address? Absolutely. What they don't know, as soon as they go in the door, they're having to do the same frickin' thing, right? At an open house, how many people are giving you their real name, phone number, right? The TSA, they give you all that free information. Then you put it in your database and then you soft touch them. So TSA PreCheck is phenomenal. You have to get it set up. It's a pain. It's hard to get set up, but they come to our office probably 3 times a year. It is a great touch. Trust me, if you can figure out how to get them to wherever you are, if you have a real estate office, that would be something I definitely would do. Okay, so that's January. February, we do a client appreciation event. So we have a minor league hockey game. So we invite our VIP clients to a hockey game. Spend, I don't know, $8, $10 a seat for them, and then we give them like a beanie or something like that. So we do that. March event, we do Shred It. Everybody know what Shred It is? Okay, so we pay, again, to have the Shred It truck, shredding, whatever, pull up into our parking lot, okay? And then we invite our community to come and shred all of their documents. And we get hundreds of people to come and dump all their old bank statements and their thises and their that's, and they get shredded for free. We don't ask them to pay. We don't ask for their contact information. We don't do anything, but we love on them when they show up. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming. Get your stuff shredded, and then a lot of times we'll have, like we had King of Pops, which is a small organization that employs special needs kids to hand out popsicles. Costs us about $1,500 all in. Typically, you can see here we got it hosted by Supreme Lending, our lender. They paid $1,000, so it costs us $500. Okay? If you don't have a physical office, or if you don't have a place to do that, talk to your church, talk to school, talk to wherever, something, and you just market the daylights out of it out to all of the people that you know. We send postcards about this, we call, we do all of these things. Okay, so shredding events are great. Anybody do one? Okay.
We have one in our community next week.
Okay, are you sponsoring it?
My mentor is.
Okay, awesome. It's phenomenal. It really is.
They get a good turnout.
Yeah. All right, so that was April got junk, so we just did this one. We had a junk removal company come into, again, my office. They set their truck up, and we went to the community and we said, hey, all that stuff that you can't fit in your trash can, bring it to us and we'll get rid of it. Again, hundreds of people came and dumped all of their crap. And they got rid of it for free. Cost us about $2,000 to do. We've already gotten one listing out of it. All right, so guys, these are just ideas. I'm not saying that they're perfect here or wherever, but these are just get creative. This I thought of back in, we did this in April. In March, I was driving, I know exactly what it was. I was driving down the interstate, and I was thinking, I've got too much junk. I need to get rid of it. I'm like, oh my God, do an event. Then all the stuff is going to get gone that I want gone, and then I get other people to get rid of their crap too. Okay? So when a problem comes up, come up with a solution. So that's what we did. So again, it's just they haul all their stuff, and we got more grills and TVs and those big ass TVs that you can't move. It was amazing. This is the first one that we did. We're going to do one in the fall too. Food Truck Friday, so we sponsor event tomorrow night. We're doing sponsoring another food truck, so we'll have that one. So I fly in tonight, turn around and sponsor an event tomorrow. This is a cool one too, an adoption event, dog adoption. Who doesn't love a puppy, right? So we had 3 different shelters, if you will, came to us, set up. We had free baths for the dogs. We had free treats. They could buy, leashes and stuff like that. Again, having the dogs there cost us nothing. All we did was we paid for the marketing for it, and we had, 125 people there. So some people will say, well, what about space? I don't have the space. So I have my own freestanding building now. You can always find space. You can get creative. Somebody owns an office building, or someone if you're with Remax, use that space. Or if you're with EXP and somebody has an office, use their parking lot, or a church or a subdivision, your clubhouse. There's ways to do this. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
What are the general costs for a food truck event? How do you get that started?
Food truck, so the food truck, we're just sponsoring at that Food Truck Friday. So there's going to be bands there, and then we're just putting our moving truck there along with a tent. But we're just making sure that we're part of the community. So when I say sponsor, maybe that didn't come out wrong. But food trucks we have done, and they just have a set minimum of what the food costs are going to be. That, if it's $1,000, if we only get $500, then we have to pay them $500. Yeah. But the dog adoption, that was another really cool thing. Oh, this is fun too. So these are little door hangers. You know that. That wasn't me, was it? Okay. So these are little door hangers. So it's graduation season, right? Or grad season is come and gone. So what we did is we went around and we door knocked on neighborhoods, right? And we said, hey, do you have a grad, someone that's graduating high school? They can enter, they just put in our QR code, they enter that student's name into a drawing for a $500 scholarship. They don't have to be going to college, they can use it for whatever. Okay, so what does that do? Again, for $500, we get to play that up on all of our social media that we are contributing back. We're providing a scholarship for a graduating senior, and we got, I don't know, 200-300 people that entered for that. Is anybody doing anything like that? Can anybody see any benefit in doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's their last college, high school graduate.
Amen. Yes. Yep. So what we like to do is we like to reach out to everyone. Thank you so much. We so appreciate it. What's your name? Jessica, thank you so much for entering. Just wanted to let you know your son or daughter wasn't the ultimate winner, but I just wanted to let you know that we did get your registration. Congratulations to your son, Peter, for graduating high school. I'm curious, what's his plans? What is it?
Maybe they're going to a technical school.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to him. And do you have any other kids that are following him behind him? No. Fantastic. So I'm just curious. I know me personally, once my kids got out of the house, my wife, we decided to downsize and move. Do you guys have any plans on doing that?
We've been talking about
You have? Well, listen, when the time comes, we'd love to have the opportunity, at least come out and have a conversation with you about where your next steps are.
Great, thank you. I'll do that.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much. So again, these are just conversation starters. Okay? So this grad thing is really cool. And again, guys, it doesn't have to be grad season, right? It can be anything. Grad season was great, but it can be, an Easter giveaway or whatever. So June event is Food Truck Friday. We do outdoor movie nights. We sponsor outdoor movie nights. Another shredded event. The baseball game is our biggest one a year. We have 250 to 300 people come out for our baseball event. Again, our cost probably is $1,000 because we have sponsors that pay for it. Now, some people will say, well, I don't have any clients or I'm brand new to the business. When I started this baseball event, I can't remember, but I didn't have many clients at all. But I got creative, and this is what I want y'all to hear. The first year I did this is I said I have no money. I want to do a baseball event. Being an introvert and having my feelings hurt very easily, if no one shows up, I'm going to be crushed. Right? Anybody feel that? Anybody scared to do a client event right now because you're scared nobody will show up? I'm the only one? Okay. So what I did is I got with my lender and I got with my home inspector. Right? And I said, all right, Mr. Lender, I want $500 for this event you're going to co-sponsor. And I went to the home inspector and I want $500 from you. So I had $1,000. I didn't have any money, but now I had $1,000. So what I did is it was the Hermes Realty Group Client Appreciation Event sponsored by Joe Blow Lender and Steve the Inspector. Right? And I got all of their contact information of all the clients that they wanted to invite, and I invited them for them. Okay? And then I moved, so I became down on the left, and then the lender went up, and then he got to market Joe Smith Lender Client Appreciation Event sponsored by Hermes Realty Group and Bob the Inspector. I got all their contact information, sent all that out about the Client Appreciation Event, and then moved the inspector up to the top. Joe Blow Inspector Client Appreciation Event sponsored by Hermes Realty Group and Joe Blow Lender. So we had 3 client appreciation events going on at the same time. Had about 90 people there. I have no idea how many of them were for me, but everybody thought that came up to me, oh my God, you've got so many clients, this is awesome. Nobody knew. The lender, the same thing. My gosh, you got so many people. We just had 90 people out there, and there's 3 events, and we came off looking great. But remember, how much did it cost me? 0. I spent maybe a couple $100 giving away, some swag and stuff like that. But don't tell me that you can't do this because you don't have money or you don't have clients. It's easy to do. Any questions on that? Okay. All right, so October, we'd have a pumpkin giveaway. We let anybody in the community come, and we set up a pumpkin farm for them. We had one year where it didn't work, so it rained, so we had them inside. And then, of course, everybody gives away apple pies or pumpkin pies. Go to Costco, they're $10, $12. This is our Thanksgiving meals that we talked about. And then we do Polar Express. That is not me in the funny outfit. That's my operations manager. And then we do photos with Santas. Anybody do photos with Santa? Okay, that's an option for you as well. All right, so can y'all see that? If anybody wants to try to grab that as a screenshot, I'm giving away a cheat sheet on the marketing that we're talking about. If for some reason it doesn't work, let me know. It better.
It works.
Okay, yeah. So that's yours to keep. Use it. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. And listen, any questions that y'all have about anything that I'm talking about, please reach out to me. Okay? This is my R&D department is phenomenal to rip off and duplicate. I hope that you guys do the same. So feel free to use any of this information. All right, moving on. Billboards and postcards. So billboards. So we started a billboard campaign in the Lake Lanier farm that we talked about. These are the first 2 that I did. Sell a home, y'all, and buy a home, y'all. I like the word y'all, so I copyrighted sell a home, y'all, and buy a home, y'all. We got a lot of really good feedback on that, so then I decided to make our billboards funny. So I never laugh at my wife's choices. I'm one of them, y'all. Happy 25th anniversary. So that was our latest billboard. New year, new home. Don't break my heart, y'all. No luck, just experience. This is cool. I love this one. Hanging with my peeps. Star Wars, may the 4th be with you. Lake life, kicking butt since 1776. Fall in love with the new home. Boo y'all, that was another good one. How about fat pants season? Ho, ho, ho for Christmas. So have fun with marketing, right? Who gets a postcard? But the thing is, here's the theme though, and this is what other than I like them and I think they're funny, the theme is everything looks the same, right? It can have a different message, but everything looks the same. So when someone pulls these postcards out of their mailbox, we have about a 10 to 12 second shelf life before they go in the trash. But they all have to look the same. So everything looks the same. That's important. Don't shotgun a postcard and do something that looks totally different. All of our fonts are the same down on the bottom. All of our contact information, everything is the same. So it's branding us and branding everything similar. Does that make sense? You have to do that. Please, please, please don't make a mistake and do that. Open house and door knocking. That's pretty basic. That's simple. Circle prospecting. Everybody familiar with circle prospecting, what that is?
No.
Circle prospecting, so if I take a listing at 123 Main Street, I'm going to call around and I'm going to talk to the 30 closest homes closest to that. Hey, this is Matt Hermes, Keller Williams Realty. I just wanted to let you know we just listed 123 Main Street right down the road from you. It's a beautiful 5-bedroom, 4-bath house, and it's listed for $600,000. I know that you've been here for the last 14 years. I'm just curious, do you have any friends or relatives that might be interested in moving into the neighborhood? No?
How do you go about getting your number?
There's different ways you can go through our tax service. You can do it. There's different websites that you can pay to provide those names for you.
And your number one choice is?
RedX is probably in our area the better one for us. I don't know about here. So circle prospecting is you just listed or you just sold. If you are a newer agent and you haven't just listed or you haven't just sold anything, but you want to circle prospect, let's say you're an EXP agent and you're in, I don't know EXP that well. Are you in the same office? No? Okay, but you're in the same brokerage. So you can say, hey, just want to let you know that we, EXP, just sold a house at 123 Main Street. Just curious, or just curious if you had any questions about that recent sale. Oh yeah, I just saw that sign go down. How much did y'all sell it for? Well, someone in our brokerage sold it for $275,000. It was on the market for 9 days. I'm curious, do you happen to know anyone that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the area? So you can do it on both the listing side and the buyer side. Okay, so that's that. So we put a big blue chair in the front of our office. Again, just that thing is massive. But again, that's just branding. So then we created our own Instagram page around that, and we invite the general public to come take a picture in our chair. You know, you guys are at the beach, right? You got these things all over the place. Well, in Decula, Georgia, we don't. So people love this thing. Provide value. Okay, so here's the children at play signs that we were talking about. There's the garage sale signs that I was talking about. Buy your swag. We got cornhole boards. Enter for your chance to win. Tax assessment. Anybody doing any tax assessment help? No? You guys get your property tax assessments here? And you don't like the value, what can you do? You can appeal them, right? So put out on social media, hey, if anybody wants to appeal your taxes, let me know. I'll be happy to help you with that. So if somebody calls you and says, yeah, I want to get some help appealing my taxes, fantastic. Well, I'd be happy to send you some comparable sales for homes that sold last year in and around your neighborhood. I got your name from caller ID as Sue Smith. Sue, what's your home address? 123 Main Street. They going to give you the correct address? Absolutely they are. And Sue, I got your phone number here. What's the best email address for me to email this information to you? You get the right email address. I'm just curious, Sue, so how many kids do you have? Or tell me why you moved to the area. We moved here, job transfer. Now got a senior, he's getting ready to get out. He's our last kid. Oh, fantastic. So now you have a lead. We get more, and then you then do the tax assessment. By the tax assessment, you just pull comparable sales from the previous year and then email them to them. Okay, and then they handle the appeal, but you're just providing the information. Okay, and you send a handful of comps, and you're going to have to match this up to your house, use it, but here's the information. And then from there, you're able to stay in touch with them. So next year when the assessment time comes up, hey, you can reach out to them. Hey, do you want us to send you more information? We get 2 or 3 listings a year from the tax assessment information that we provided people 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. It is a great, great resource. So tax assessment help, I'm in the process of doing like 3 of them this week. It takes 5 minutes to pull the information and email it to people. Okay? All right, provide vendor list. Mitch, I'm almost done so we got guide to buying your home, selling your home. We also have our own free moving truck that we allow our clients to use. So anyone that buys, sells with us, we allow them to use our moving truck for free. We also allow the general public to use the moving truck, especially charitable organizations, the schools moving their band equipment from spot to spot. They can use that. Again, we're at a benefit now that I've been able to go from broke to millionaire, and we can afford that stuff now. So I'm not saying that it's perfect timing for everyone, but that is something that is a very big benefit to our clients. Yes, sir.
How's the insurance covered when you have all the different drivers?
It's just like a rental truck. It's just like a Ryder or a U-Haul. And actually, the company that we have the insurance through runs it like that. So we're really not on the hook for it. So they sign a lease document just like what we would do. And then, is anybody using Google Lead Service, GLS? No? Okay. Google Lead Service is a part of Google where you can get, it's kind of like Twitter getting verified. You can get verified on Google, and then ads will run that if you do a Google search for real estate in Cocoa Beach, they'll have different agent photos that pop up on the top. Has anybody seen those? Those are verified Google people. You will get phone calls. We get 3, 4, 5 phone calls a week from our Google Lead Service ads. They are phenomenal. They're the best lead source that we have right now. So Google Lead Service. It's a process to get through, but GLS is great.
What does that cost?
It's per lead, per phone call, and it can be, you basically bid on the price. For us, it's about $45 a lead. Yes, ma'am. Pay-per-click is online. That's just internet ads. They are physically calling us. The phone rings. They say, click here to call Matt, and it'll call me directly. A lot. Okay, we've got 10 minutes. Well, we got 5 minutes. What questions can I answer for you? Nothing?
Can you get that Google QR code?
Absolutely.
Is the QR code going to send us an email with this in it or something?
It should, you just click on it and, oh yes, we're going to send you an email. It'll have,
Like a feedback kind of form.
all right. You will, yes, you'll get the form. You'll get the sheet.
Okay.
Ooh, did I pass it? Tell me someone that you got picked out. Tell me something that you're able to take away and implement in the next couple weeks.
Adding the tax value help to our website.
Okay?
I already bought a couple of website domains.
On it back there.
Probably 12 of them.
Awesome. Good for you. Anybody else? Did anybody find this helpful?
Yeah. Very good.
Mitch, what else you got?
That's it. I got nothing to say when you're finished up.
Okay. So a couple other just kind of notes that I wrote down here. Don't lose sleep over people who don't lose sleep over you. Handwritten notes are huge. Anytime you go on a meeting, anytime you meet someone in person that you've never met, figure out a way to get their information and send them a handwritten note. Think about it. When you open your mailbox every day and you get bill after bill after bill, and then there's a handwritten note, what's the first thing you open? The handwritten note. Write a handwritten note. Just thinking about you. So nice to meet you. Create a private Facebook group for your fans, for your VIP clients.
Can you say that again? When you said a second ago about don't lose
Don't what? Oh, don't lose sleep over people who don't lose sleep over you. And then just a couple other notes that I've got. Don't borrow money for anything other than real estate. So once we got broke, we do not, the only thing that I owe anyone is for our real estate. At this point, my wife and I have made a full recovery. We own 5 single-family homes. And I don't say this to be cocky, so please don't. I'm just saying it because if I can do what I've done, anybody can do it because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? But we own a number of homes. We've invested in a number of businesses. If I can do it, anybody can. So if anybody's struggling out there, please, please, please know you can do it. It's going to take time, but it's worth it, okay? That's all I got. Thank y'all.
Good job, man. Isn't he such a good guy? Yeah. I want to be like him when I get old like him. So just a couple of quick things. The feedback forms, please fill them out because it helps us give you guys content as we move forward with these every other month. The next one will be in, where are we in, June? July, August. Don't have a date yet, and we're not sure. We have a couple of different subjects we're deciding on. We'll let you know. I think if you won over at Sean Fortenberry's thing, over at Prestige Titles Roulette there, I think they're doing a final spin for a prize, so if you won over there, let me turn that down, hold on a second. And, oops. I did that on purpose. I don't know what the hell's going on. Pat, what was the other? There's one more thing, Pat, you asked me for.
We'll be sending the recording of this site. It won't be ready until like Monday, right? However, we will send it by email to everyone who's registered to attend, and just check your email. It will be coming from probably me or me.
Yeah, and then one final thing. One of the things that I've been doing for people lately, at no charge, just because I enjoy it, is free coaching. So if anybody needs to get started in their business, or they're struggling, or you're flatlined, my travel schedule is crazy, but I'll do my best to fit as many people in as I can. I don't charge for it. I normally charge $1,500 an hour for coaching, but I don't anymore because I just don't like to charge people for stuff I give you guys. So if you need to ramp up your business, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm glad to help you guys out. Okay?
Appreciate you guys.
Cool, thanks. All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Oh, don't forget, go to the bar, get tickets from Erin back there if you don't have tickets, and we'll all meet you over there in a few minutes.